Okay, this is Robert Forsch with the YouTube channel Truth. I've got some really important information to unpack today. These are the numbers from the Tides Near Me app. I'm at the Cherry Grove Inside, as we call it here, and you can see the details on that. Let me bounce back once again and refresh it. Now you can see that. Okay, and then the other thing is I'm going to open up the weather for right here. Okay, the wind from the east-southeast at 1 mile per hour. Interesting, isn't that? How would that be possible if we were spinning 1,000 miles an hour? How would we get reflections like that? That's a washboard surface that's broken up a bit. With the the water fills its container perfectly, and including that washboard surface. I'm actually going to go live right now too. Alright, so this is live on Facebook, which will be converted to a YouTube video. And part of what I want to do is to be able to illustrate what's going on out here. The low tide is real soon, right about now. And along with that, I believe what I'm going to do is go ahead and drop this on down. Let's see. It's kind of a challenge. I've got multiple devices to deal with. Let's see. Okay, this makes the most sense. So what I'm going to do here is keep this live on Facebook for now. And I've got the numbers that I showed on the P1000. The sun is approaching. You'll be able to see all those numbers in a little bit when I link this all together. And this is Robert Forsch with the YouTube channel Truth. I'll be going to the Question Everything conference in California, and I'm inviting everybody to attend that cares to. Along with that, what's going to be happening is I'll be capturing and sharing content as well along the way. This is the P1000, and it's like a bit of a simulcast right now. I'm going to have to drop this down a little bit to do the pan. That right there is Wadey's Island. I've got video and photos with eagles up in these trees here. I'll just get that out of the way. So you can see the way this looks now, and what I'll do is drop it all the way down and show perspective, a different perspective. And that's part of the deal. I'm probably going to go with a multiple mic source so I can have my live broadcast there hearing better. What I can do as interim is just go ahead and grab it and walk and talk with it. There's my friend Leonard right there. He's a photographer. Can you see him? Well, let's show you what Leonard looks like zoomed in a little bit. He put a calendar on my car a little while ago. He's a fabulous photographer. I've got video of ships apparently vanishing over the horizon. Well, not actually. I've got a view right here I want to show you. It's right in the middle. Can you see it? Well, of course not. But you will soon. It's a boat that washed aground, ran aground. I'm just not happy with the clarity of that. So let's see if I can zoom on in. So what I'll do, this narration that I'm providing right now is going to two recordings. One that is the Facebook that will be converted to a YouTube, and then the other is the P1000 with a mobile mic set up on there. And then I'm mic'd up with a transmitter on the classic Harris Tweed trench coat. That's right. It's like from the 40s or so. With the backlighting, the perfect symmetry of the reflection and how flat that water is. It's a big deal because the truth matters. They're saying we're spinning, wobbling, and gyrating through space, yet we don't feel any of that movement. None. None at all. Can you see the ship over there? Let's see if I can zoom in on them a little bit better. Just so you're aware, the clarity on the P1000 is going to be a lot better than what you just saw on the live Facebook stream. So I've done a lot of video out here. The sun is already up. It's been up for a while. Can you see it? Of course not. Too many clouds. The sun is close, it's local, and it's relatively small. Now we've got a couple more mile-per-hour wind, and the perfect symmetry of those trees that we couldn't see earlier based on perspective. So as a video journalist, I'm going to capture some things and comment on them. Jogger on the beach, young lady looks like. The seasons of life. And then we've got Leonard, the seasoned photographer. Where is he? Where are you, Leonard? There you are. Working on his 2019 calendar, to be sure. Okay. As we walk ahead, of course, the reflection changes. Back up and move a little bit, and that'll all change. What's interesting, and you can look at it if you care to on my my Bible broadcast. Some of them are real close to 12 hours long, showing the tidal activity and the movement of the sun and the moon. From the Gospel of John to Revelation, I've got a few of those occurrences. Just a little something to consider for the naysayers that say I've abandoned my primary purpose of presenting the gospel. I would say, well, I don't know anybody else that's putting God's word out as much as I am, and exposing the deeds of darkness. There's over 1,688 videos on my liked video playlist to give people an idea of the battle that we're in. They're changing algorithms and search recommendations for Facebook and YouTube, making it a bit more challenging. How challenging is it? Well, I would say it's only by God's grace that anybody can love and believe the truth, let alone find it. That's how challenging it is. It's impossible, humanly speaking, to believe the Bible is true and real, because it's like a fairy tale to those that are perishing. It doesn't make any sense. And that's really the way that is. So for those in the truth movement, many of them I'm way too biblical. And then many of those that are believing, they're all excited about Jesus and going to heaven and all of that. And I'm way too focused on conspiracy theories. Oh well, can't please everybody. In fact, can't please just about anybody. In fact, it was a dead-end street when I tried pleasing others, and then it was even worse when I just tried pleasing myself. Yeah, that doesn't work well. Now that I make an effort to obediently walk with God who created me, who lives in and through me, the living word, the living water, the great I am, the Alpha and Omega, the spirit of prophecy, the God who authored Scripture, created this world. That's who I'm talking about. He goes by many names. You can call him Yahuwah, Yeshua. There's Hebrew references, Greek references, and then we've got over 1,500 languages that have a lot of different translations and words that express who this God is. I'm talking about the God who created this world. Now, the footprints are sinking in more. Over there it was really, really hard sand. And now we can see the perfect, not exactly perfect mirror, but you can imagine it was. The texture and configuration of this area changes every day, every moment. The texture of the lighting, all of that. The subtle nuances of all of that. We got the footprints in the sand there. We had a 8-foot bull shark get captured out here. Now it's obvious to see the tide is coming in. Can you see it? There it is. An 8-foot bull shark was like 800 pounds or so. That's a man-eater. There's records of them swimming up the Mississippi River, and there you go. A lot of people were killed like that. Now we see less reflection of those trees simply because of the ripples of the wind on the water. It's my gratuitous cameo, of course. I want people to be able to see the truth. I want them to go to my content and hear the audio Bible, find out that we're living in a world that is largely different than we're being told, than we're being sold. When the authority wants your opinion and your belief, they'll give it to you. Isn't that special? Oh yeah, politicians lie, but they're not going to lie about the moon landing or 9/11 or the reason we're blowing up innocent men, women, and children, and why it's actually okay to save the whales and kill the preborn or just recently born babies. Oop, that one got out a little quick. Let's hurry up and kill it and harvest parts of their anatomy for vaccines that we're going to force on humanity and put in the food supply. As in the days of Noah, so would it be at the coming of the Son of Man. How will that be? It's going to be pretty gruesome. We've got giants in the land. They were in the days of Noah. Are they here now? I knew of deep underground military bases when I was 10 years old. My dad sold steel to Manitowoc Engineering in Wisconsin. And he told me about going down in an elevator and seeing a tunnel boring machine that was so massive they would put it on the front end of a locomotive. And then they would take these TBMs and ship them out of Sturgeon Bay, which he also sold the steel to. At the time it was called Sturgeon Bay Shipbuilding Company. So on my way to California, what will that be like? There's some interesting destinations along Route 66. I've run it before. I was riding dirty from coast to coast. There's missing 650 miles of curvature. I did it with a Volkswagen Passat TDI that was modified by a race tuner in North Charleston. There were Ferraris and Porsches out in his waiting to go in or picked up from his shop. He modified it so I had a lot of fuel economy and torque and horsepower. Torque really gets the car going. It's not just about horsepower. Anyway, when I got to a 5 to 7% grade in the Smokies or Rocky Mountains, my fuel economy would drop into 10, 12 miles per gallon, estimated on the computer. Well, what I found out, I drove from coast to coast averaging 55 mpg from Myrtle Beach to Northern California. Just so you know, 650 miles of missing curvature in that distance is over a 30% grade. You can calculate it yourself. If the numbers are a little tough for you to work at, tell you what, you can look at earthcurvature.com. I've got links of it. You can type it in yourself. You can type in the distance in either kilometers or miles, and it'll give you the amount of curvature we would see if we lived on a globe. The thing is, we don't. We don't live on a globe. We never have. The reason the Earth's flat now is it always has been, basically. We do have elevation above and below sea level. The island here has trees that are probably about 75 feet above sea level. Anyway, a 30% grade, my car couldn't have even worked that grade, much like in the 1800s when they said there's no locomotive that has ever been crafted that could work a grade to the 8 inches to the mile squared. How about that? That's part of the empirical evidence. And back in when I took that drive, I was riding dirty. I was going out there to get marijuana. I was convinced God created a plant to help me deal with life. And then he helped me to realize all I actually needed was to truly be born of his Spirit. So here's what happened with me. In the short version, I thought I was born again until I actually was. And what occurred was God, who created me, helped me to realize I hadn't been born again yet. It didn't happen. It didn't take. I was baptized, rededicated, sprinkled as a Catholic infant, did altar boy activity, all of that for the Catholic Church. I wasn't born again yet. So I didn't need drugs to stop me from getting too happy or make me happier or more manageable. It's a chemical straitjacket that Satan wants to put on humanity. He doesn't care if you get it from Pfizer Pharmaceuticals or Phil's filling station on the corner. Now look at, with the absence of the breeze, how that water got so much more clear, the reflections, right? Did you notice it? You can scroll back and forth. That's one of the reasons why my videos are so friggin' long. I'm wanting to show you the world that we live in. It's not just about my pontificating or billavating as the haters in the in some of the different globe groups. They think it's all about me. No, it's all about the mission that I'm on, to help people realize the world we actually live in, and the need to be born again, and the eternal regret that will happen to those that haven't been. How about that? I'm actually an expert marksman. I can hit stuff really easily with a weapon. And this is a weapon of mass instruction. That's what I'll use it for. I'm not interested in blowing up stuff and killing people. I'm interested in blowing your mind with the reality of the world we actually live in, so you can make an informed choice for your eternal perspective. That's why. Okay, so here's a ship right out there. It looks like a shrimp boat. Do you see it? So part of the deal is I can see stuff a long ways away without any magnification. And there's a bit of an exercise. I used to wear lineless bifocal Ray-Bans. It's my profile picture. Very cool retro glasses. I don't have any vision clarification or modification with glass or plastic or polycarbonate. What has happened is the God who created me, who lives in and through me, has helped me to see this world from a much different perspective. And that's why I do this. So if I want to see what I'm going to do next, all I simply do is live my life in such a way that I willingly submit myself to God who created me. So right now, I'm going to shoot the shrimp boat, and you'll be able to see it later if you care to. And then half of a man. He's walking below my perspective. I've got mind-blowing videos. It looks like people are walking, they're walking level, but because of the contour of the sand, they're walking on a surface that is, well, that's pretty much level, the edge of the beach, and there's less of them visible because of the sand. I'll show you. I'll show you, and then you can come back and look at it if you care to. If I lose him, it's tough to get him back, but there he is. So this will zoom in 125 times. The Nikon Coolpix P1000, it is awesome. It's when I first understood what I could do with this device, I was all about it. I can transfer, I'll show you. Right there we can't see through the viewfinder. Now it goes to the diopter. It's a feature that's really helpful. The moon is up. Can you see it? Of course not. It's too gray. The sun is up, been up for a while. Where is it? Where is the sun? Is it over there? Well, no, that's almost the opposite direction of where it actually came up. And that's the lightest spot. Look at the backlighting, the clouds. The sun is shooting over the canopy of clouds. We've got a kaleidoscope of conspiracy that is putting a false reality on humanity with artificial intelligence and world communications, worldwide deception. And in the context of it, here I am.